Hello, everyone, and let's talk about the most debating question from all over the internet around out there, which is Apple versus others. Now, a lot of people will say that Android is superior, or Windows is a superior, or maybe Apple is a superior. And I would say that is not at all even a question. That matters on the priority basis, whatever you like to have, and whatever suits you, that's up to your need. But since you are in the Apple development, here is my small advice to be professional into anything whatever you learn. Maybe you want to learn Python, Ruby, Apple, Android, or anything. Just make sure whatever you are learning, that is your most favorite one out there. Whenever there is a debate, you will take the side of the Apple if you are into the Apple development. So let's talk about what is a major difference. I'm not saying anyone is superior. I'm just saying what are the difference between the Apples versus the others. Now, the very first thing about the Apple is the App Store. Now, you only have to be worried about App Store. There is only one market and nothing else at all. Although it's a bit strict market, but we'll talk about that later on. So that is the only thing to be worried about. Yes, we can talk about the jailbroken iPhone apps, which can have the third-party apps being installed, but that is not at all being a guideline or being supported by the Apple at all. So all you have to be worried about is just one market, App Store, and that's it. And I would also like to talk about one more thing. Nowadays, a lot of thing is coming out, no coding required, just drag and drop and do the things. And there are a lot of things such like PhoneGap, Sencha, or maybe Game Salad and all of that. But I would say go with the Swift approach or maybe Objective-C approach if you like that. But this course is totally going to talk about the Swift. And why is that? Now, building an app from the native gives you a vast variety of things. Like we can have the performance issues and we have got a vendor support. Yes, you can have the dedicated Apple support to have the cleaner app and kind of a smooth UIs and all of that. But that you need to be hard coded in the Swift. There is no shortcut for that. You have to go with the Swift way. And in fact, the apps which are making huge in the market are being designed this manner, not with the game salads and only some drag and drops and all that. I would say these are great game salads and PhoneGap and all of them. These are really, really great. And you should give it a try, but you should always and always try to develop an app and put it into an app store that is being developed by the Swift. Now, talking with that, what is the difference between the Apple and the others? This was about the Apple. So what is the about the others? The first thing that you will directly notice in the app development is the screen resolution size. Since you have to provide a lot of graphical images for your background, for your buttons, or maybe a tons of things. And let's say someone is using a 6-inch phone or maybe 7-inch tablet and all of that. So the worries are a little bit less in the Apple as compared to the others. You have got just a iPhone 4, 4S, 5, 5S, 6, 6S, and maybe some tabs and all of that. But that is countable. With the Android, it's not at all even countable. So it's a less headache out there. Multiple screen is always one of the headache which programmer face. Also, there is a worry about the strictness of the things. Now, I'll give you a very simple example that I really tested it out. And what happened, I designed a simple note-taking app just like Evernote and all of that. And I designed the app exactly with the same features and I submitted them onto a different platform. Everything was designed like Swift was designed and it was submitted to the Apple. It was designed in Java and SDK and all of that and was submitted to the Android and the Windows version as well. We did this test and we found that Apple rejected our app. And Apple said there is no current extraordinary feature in there are some less feature, you might want to modify that and then submit it again. There are already tons of apps which provide the basic features that you have done, but the same app was already live in the market of the Android and in the Windows as well. But what happens, the Apple is kind of a very strict in that you need to work out on your app, and that's a good thing as well. I would think that because it's a very kind of a polite and polished market out there which always invites the paid user. I agree that Apple has got a very limited people out there, but all of them, believe me, all of them are the paid user. And a lot of Android users are not at all even the paid users because of the very low amount of phones and all of that. So I'm not actually making the points out there, just trying to emphasize that there is a paid market being waiting for you and everyone is ready to pay cash if you give them enough features. So make sure that you work hard, because your work is definitely going to pay off. Everyone is going to buy your app. But same is not at all a case with the Android. A free market is out there, so a lot of people just depend. They buy less as compared to the App Store. So this is out there. And there are too much of clones out there with the apps in the, you can see in the Google Android market and all of that. So that was all simply about what happens and what not happens. Okay, so I think this was not at all related with the app development and all of that, but definitely I thought that you should be aware about all of these things, as we'll see them quite a lot in the next movies.